Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Essential Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson. Today we are doing tarot for Tuesdays. I channel messages on Thursdays, but obviously since I'm a channeler, I will also be channeling through tarot. Heaps to tell you today because I've done heaps this last few days. I've really started to create a new empire, kind of, so to speak, on my website. So we have new intuitive counseling sessions or readings, psychic readings, even including starseed missions and things like that, couples. I'm going to bring in business people and stuff like that as well. And I have the launching of my brand new classroom, which you would have seen the advert before this. If you didn't, it is on my my YouTube channel, because I will be launching that on YouTube soon, and that is a classroom all about teachings from higher dimensions, which is just incorporating everything that I've learned, plus every one of my messages that come through in the time of the teachings for those that are on the classroom. So you're going to be $20 a classroom, and it'll be by every fortnight at the moment. It may end up being weekly in the end. So that's really exciting stuff. Hi, Angelie. Hey, Snezana and Lady, Jennifer, Mark, Rebecca, good to see you here. So yeah, exciting times ahead. I'm really excited about this year. I'm just going to rip into it. I'm going to put my name out there and see what happens, because I've got so much support now. I mean, 2 years ago, leaving such a relationship and falling flat on my face for a while there, did all the healing, followed my advice, my guidance, manifested the man of my dreams, my house of my dreams. We're going on a cruise there. I've been on so many holidays. I've just been having so much fun with my life. And now I said I want to really, step up my business side, and that is this YouTube readings and everything. So, so be it, right? Okay, I'm going to just get into this reading. They said to title it Grounding the Story, because that's the energy for this week. The energy for this week is to start grounding what you really want in your reality. Take those measures, take those steps, take the action, do the physical, meet up with people, whatever you need to do to start grounding the reality that you desire. Is a good time to do it at the moment. Great to see you, Rebecca, too. Okay, let's get into this general reading. So we have one card that's fallen out. I'm using the Osho deck at the moment. That's my favourite deck because these cards saved my bacon when I was in my 20s and 30s. I only had one deck all my life up until I started doing tarot readings, and it was my Osho deck, and this is it. It's been with me for about 30 years. Okay, Jonar, please. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, there's going to be some fear games pulled over the consciousness of humanity. We're going to really see how far we've come to with those fear games that are going to be pulled over. If you just go to them and keep moving towards your goals and grounding your goals, they'll start to see they have no power over you. Okay. I do free CHATBAR readings after this, Angelie. Just doing the general at the moment. Okay, let's see what they say. So we have first up, intensity. Intensity is a card of, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I don't care about the rest of the world. I don't care what you think. I don't care about what my parents taught me and what was right and what was wrong, in the respect of creating your dreams and where you want to go in your life. I'm just going to grab what I feel in my heart is right for me and go for it just with intensity. And that can create ripples, right? Because behind this person, because he's so intense on what he's doing, everyone's like, whoa, 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 didn't expect you to be able to do that or see that coming. And so they sort of get hit by these ripples of, whoa, what are they doing? They're creating something different than what I would expect them to be creating. And so this card might end up that if you do come into your, grounding your dreams with intensity, that some people will fall away or they can't handle it anymore. That's like the new you kind of thing. And then with that card, we have an upside down politics card. So this is the card of deception and lies, and whether the man is wearing, the mask of insincerity or the mask over top of that he is happy where it's still insincere. He's deceiving and lying, but it's in reverse. So this is really finding out our strengths now this week and to come. Actually, they're saying actually over the next few years, see how far we've actually come in facing off with the fears of someone lying, deceiving, and trying to manipulate you, and you still standing your ground with intensity and saying, no, I know where I'm going now. I love who I am, and I'm not hurting anybody other than going for my dreams and doing what I feel is right for me. And that is enough. And so I'm grounding this crazy ass business that doesn't even seem to fit in this world, or I'm going to launch into being the the one that speaks up, or the one that speaks the truth, or the one that takes my power and sends it across the world in a way that makes you feel like your soul is singing. And that could be through art, through singing, through dancing, through anything. But it's with the intensity of knowing who you are. And then all these lies and deceptions of, be afraid of that you won't fit in, the people will attack you, will start to fall away. And you will also start, because you are intense and you know who you are, you will start to see through these lies and deceptions and the people that are doing them, trying to manipulate you and keep you small. And they're only reflecting that part of your mind that has always been keeping you small anyway. So the more that you eradicate it within yourself, the more that it doesn't show up in your reality, or the more that when it does show up, you see straight through it, because you're catching your mind now. You're saying to your mind, that monkey mind that's telling you you're too small to do this, you're not good enough, you're starting to catch it. And so what happens in reflection, someone comes up to you and they're trying to manipulate you, or be a narcissist or whatever, you start to catch it. You start to catch them and you go, I know that, I see that, and no, you don't, I don't deserve to be around you anymore. I am moving on, and I'm going to create with intensity the reality that I want. But to do this, we need to have totality. In other words, be absolutely present in the moment. If these people, excuse me, weren't in totality and weren't present in the moment, they will fall off their, what are they called? Acrobatic. Trapeze, that's it. They'll fall off their trapeze. So they need to be extremely present and in the moment. And it's really vital for this to happen when we are moving with intensity, to know who we are, to be completely present in the moment, so that whatever we're doing, we're 100% with it. We're not with our monkey mind anymore telling us that we're small. We've eradicated it. And they want us to start to tune in. So tuning in to alleviate the stress. So it could be that this is coming to me across as meditation. See all the voices around here that are like all those dark shadows and the figures behind her. But she's just staying very present and peaceful within herself. That is her reality then. Their reality is seeking someone that isn't like this. Their reality is seeking someone that's going to be in fear. And so if they can't get the power that they want from her, they will end up moving away to somebody else in the end. Excuse me. So for us to stay centered and poised and respect ourselves and know who we are and where we're going is really vital. When the stress card comes out, it means that sometimes we feel like we have to have 1,000 things happening all at once, and that is the monkey mind trying to play games with you again. So it will constantly say, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And then all of a sudden you're holding all these balls in the air, all these stories in the air, and you're constantly replaying them in your head, and you're scared that if you don't have them replaying in your head, then you're going to forget them. We'll write them down because it's time to let them go. And this is how we start to learn to trust our reality. Why? Because we're going to put down all of these stories that we have in our head that say we have to do this to be able to keep this reality going. And what does it do? It just ends up creating chaos in your life with trying to hold more and more and more stories in your head of what you've got to remember to do. When you learn to trust moving into your reality with respect of self and honor of self, you can put down all those stories, all those balls, and then you say, I'm not going to think about them, but I am going to trust that when I need to pick up one, I will do it 100%. And then I'm only focused on that one story in this moment 100%. And as soon as that is fixed, I put it down, and then I wait for the next feeling of I'm drawn to do the next story and the next and the next. And then you never have all of this monkey chatter in your head. You go through your life, your daily days. You go through your days feeling centered and grounded and at peace with yourself, because you know at any given moment to stay in this respect of self, you will get this nudge or this feeling to pick up the story that you need to pick up, and only one story at a time. And then you're not having to deal with all of the monkey mind and the stress and the anxiety and the, oh my God, I can't do this. And then you procrastinate and you won't go any further and so forth. So this is all about learning the trust game at the moment. And who is it trusting? It's not trusting someone outside ourselves. It's trusting ourselves. Oh, that's great, Angeli. I didn't actually read your message. I just saw that you needed some help there. But I'm glad that helped. It was obviously a message that you needed to hear. So I'm going to do some oracle cards as well for the general. I'll just see if I can find the packet for these ones so you can see which ones I'm using. These are the energy and spirit oracles. It's funny, it's energy and spirit. I had a candle too close and it made that all go dark there. By Sandra Ann Taylor. So if you're interested in this deck. So yeah, I'm mainly a channeler. I'll be channeling this. I'm thinking of doing another one as well, another channeling. We'll see how we all go, because I'm going to do this full time in the end. We've got the classrooms happening on a Monday. They're starting February the 6th at 7 a.m. AEST time, which is Brisbane or Queensland Australia time. Nice. And yeah, so I'd love to see as many of you there, but if just one turns up, then good on you, because you end up getting a one-on-one. If 100 turns up, too bad, it would just be 100. I don't care how many people turn up to those classes. It is what it is, and I'm trusting. But I will always be there. I have so many things to share with you on how we can even integrate grounding our own utopia on daily basis through using what we already have. Okay. because this is all about stepping up and creating a new world for ourselves and everyone else, right? See what else comes up for this week. It's quite hot here, very humid, so sorry if I have some sweat on my brow. 7 a.m. in the morning. Ooh, okay. Okay, we've got quite a few coming out then, so I'll just do these. The first one that's really sticking out is letting go of urgency, surrender, freedom, and time constraint. That really goes with this card. Like if we're going to get a parallel card, this is it. Because urgency is saying that, oh my God, we need to do it now. If we don't do it, we're going to end up in some horrible chaos. Not necessarily. Sometimes when we are moving through life anxiously and with such urgency, we're not in the flow of the natural energy that is going with us, and we move into that urgency without the energy backing us up. With all we have is our own anxiousness, and we end up bringing more problems. We end up creating more problems. I don't know if you've ever gone to work and you've gone, I really don't feel like doing this thing today, but I feel like I have to, so I'm going to do it. And then you do it and you end up making lots of mistakes. And then you end up the next day going, well, I have to do it all over again anyway. That sort of thing is what this card is talking about, letting go of the urgency, letting go of the feeling of anxiousness that you have to. Sit back. How I do it is I'll sit back and go, okay, I don't need to do anything at the moment. I'm going to feel into what my passion, my desire wants to do. And then I start to move into that. And then I'll end up doing that 100%. And then it's really interesting how if it's something that I felt I needed to do, I start to relax enough to not have the anxiousness around me, and then I start to flow into what I needed to do in the first place without the anxiousness, just because I've allowed myself to let it go and not it become bigger than Ben-Hur in my head, and the monkey mind starts to get in on me. And then when I move into it, I do it 100%, and I do it without the errors and the mistakes. Okay, so we have a few cards that's come out here. We have ancestors in which is interesting. It came out in reverse. Historical connections and purposes. Ancestors. Now, what I'm feeling from this in reverse is that we don't want to repeat the same history as what's happened in the past, which was a closed-off mind to the understanding that we are only just physical. And when that happened, it ended up creating the illusion around us being that we are only just physical. It created this illusion that we were less than, and we had to trust somebody outside ourselves to dictate how things were going to go. And so we all started to become sheep-like, following a leader that was lacking as well. And for some reason, this is being brought up with this card in reverse, ancestors. They did it because they knew no better, and there was but we are starting to awaken to the fact that we are more than just physical beings, and that there is more in wisdom to be tapped into, including what our ancestors know in higher vibrations, that we can carve completely new paths. So the confusion will start to slowly subside when we start to realize the confusion was already within us. It wasn't outside of us at all. We grasped for everything outside of us to be able to make sense out of something because we were only working through half a brain, half of ourselves, half of our identity. We weren't even considering the fact that we were souls and energy residing in a body going on a journey. We just were like born in a physical, and this was it, the only thing that was existing. So the only thing that we could grasp hold of was somebody else in the physical, and we couldn't listen to our ancestors in the end. Then we have the Magician card, which is the wisdom of the Magi, mental clarity. See, look at this. It really goes really well, doesn't it, with these two cards here that came up: totality, doing things 100%, and being completely clear and knowing who we are, even though someone is whispering around us, oh, we should be doing this, or you guys should be afraid of life, be afraid of the sun, be afraid of the air, be afraid of everything. We're starting to realize the only fear that was residing was within us anyway. It wasn't anything to do with what we were just listening to them because we already had it within us. So we started listening to them. So the Magic card has appeared so that we are understanding that we can step into this clarity of knowing who we are. And moving through life through that clarity means that we can literally look in a crystal ball and see which paths we need to take from a sense of empowerment, rather than sending our power out to somebody else to tell us what to do with our reality. We know what we're going for. Everybody in this world only really truly wants to be happy. And anything that anyone strives for is to become happy or feel good about themselves. Even those that are trying to exude great power. Sometimes they give me a word that I've never I don't very often use. So we also have hope, optimism, and new beginnings with Archangel Finiel. I hope I'm saying that right. So hope, optimism, and new beginnings. This is the new beginning of humanity's consciousness, understanding that we are more than just a physical body. This is what this whole shift is all about. The understanding that we are more than just physical. So what is it that we are more than? We are also soul. If our soul leaves our body, what happens to our body? It crumbles to the ground. We have only flesh and blood that it's been held up. What's it been held up with? It's been held up with our consciousness, our soul, our intention to drive this body forward, to keep it going, to keep the blood vessels in it moving, and so forth. Sorry, I've got a scratchy throat this morning. I'm having some lemon and honey drink. Hey, Cheryl. Cheryl? Yeah, Cheryl. Divine Nature Abilities. Nice to see you here. Katie, good to see you. Love to everyone. Yes, no, you're not alone, Angeli. Interesting enough, I was in your... I haven't read your first thing. I just saw the word narcissism, and I know I dealt with one 2 years ago. So it's actually the greatest healing of my life, to have a fuller understanding where I was giving away my power to them. And then I started to turn it all back, take my power back, and realize that the only person that I can ever look to support me was me, and that it was time to let go of trying to help guide others through an unsupported nature of myself, which was looking to help others find their purpose, and not thinking about myself. Okay, what else are we going to do? 23 minutes into. I might not make this an hour long, actually, because my throat is a bit scratchy this morning. So we might start delving into... I'm going to pick one more card. What am I going to do? I'll pick one of these. I'll pick this card out for this week's tarot, and then if you guys want to have a free reading, just say yes, please, while I'm doing this. Yeah, I've been working really hard, so I think I've kind of overdone it, but it was all fun while I was doing it, so that's good. Making advertisements, getting classrooms together on a Zoom and all that sort of stuff. I'm really excited. is actually driven through excitement, but now I've got a bit of a scratchy throat. My body will have to catch up, right? Okay, what message does this have for today? This one, what message? This is Alice in Wonderland cards have for this week. It's really not coming very easily, but I don't think that's got anything to do with the energy other than the fact that my hands are all sticky from the humidity. Okay, so we have 40, keeping up, immense effort, advance, which is very similar to the intense card that we had earlier on. No need to fear, remember how powerful you are. So the intensity and the magic card, the magician, you are powerful. You're way more powerful than what you can direct your life wherever you want it to go. We've been taught that we can't. So it's time to start taking that power back and realizing that however we think about ourselves is going to be reflected outside of us. So start thinking high thoughts, beautiful thoughts about yourself, kind thoughts about yourself. Use your time well, make every moment count. This is the totality card. So how interesting that all these cards have come out similar to what the Osho deck was. Totality, be in the moment, live in the moment. There is only one moment. It is now. This is it. 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 Right? And when we start to realize there is no predicted future that our monkey mind can predict, it cannot. It can say, oh my God, that might happen. Oh my God, that might happen. And what are you doing? You're going over in your head. Oh my God, that might happen. And it's not something that you want to happen, then let it go. And then say to yourself, I am powerful and I can direct my life where I want. I don't want it to happen. Okay, imagine another story. What's the other story that you want to have happen? Okay, the person that's annoying you all of a sudden gets diverted by some other problem that's over there and they don't have any attention on you anymore. And you end up being free to do whatever you desire. And that sort of thing, right? So just keep imagining and putting out to the universe what you desire, what you want. We're literally teaching ourselves to choose the right thoughts, to put them into the universe, and then allow them to come back at us, rather than the fear thoughts, which is always coming back at us. And then we start confirming the fear thoughts. See, I knew that was going to happen. Why? Well, you knew it was going to happen because you kept replaying it in your head over and over and over. And then the universe went, that's what they want. Universe, the outside reality of yourself has no idea of what's bad, good, and different. It doesn't. All it does is you're the director. You're the director of your reality. So use your time well. Be living in the moments. And you start to feel this weight going off your shoulders. You start to feel this space within your mind that you didn't have before because the monkey mind started to shush. And then you end up going, well, what am I going to do with this beautiful place, this beautiful space? I'm going to create. I feel like creating again. And then you start creating your life again. Okay, let's get into these readings. Should I do tarot or should I do Osho? Also got my cool new deck, Steampunk. I won't do that at the moment. Oh, decisions. I'm going to go back to Osho. Okay, Miss Celine. Oh, I really am not very good at pronouncing names, sorry. But I will try. Miscellaneous, or whatever. You know you are. Okay, here we go. Clear message, please. For this week. Clear message for this week. Got a few that's come out. Did see dream come out there. Okay. So for you, be very aware that you're not living within a dream within your mind of what you want to manifest, but you're saying to yourself at the same time, it'll never happen. Oh, that'll never happen. See this person here. They're using their imagination to imagine the best scenario in the world. They're dreaming up the best scenario. But she's hunched over, and what she's doing is she's projecting out to the universe, oh, that's so beautiful, but it'll never happen. It'll never happen. Be very careful that you don't do this, because you're never going to ground what you decide is never going to happen because you can't believe that you are worthy of it. And if we look at that girl, if we look at somebody else and we say, if this person was a real person dreaming that, wouldn't you want to tell her, come on, you're worthy of that. You're beautiful. You just need to stop hunching over and stand up and be proud of who you are, and it will start coming into your reality. They're also asking you to have more awareness around yourself. There's a veil that's clouding over your eyes. It's like a story that somebody else pulled over your eyes to say that you cannot achieve what you need to achieve in your reality. They keep bringing me back to that. So there's something there that can be unblocked now. Use this week to unblock it. And the way that you can do it is to live in the moment, like step moment to moment through your day. Don't be very present with what you're doing. If you're doing the dishes, watch that your mind's not telling you messages in your head that you don't like about yourself. Keep catching yourself. Okay, who else? We have. I'll put a couple. I'll just go down the list. It seems to be easy. Zara. We've got Leanne as well. I'll do Leanne after Zara. There's a breakthrough happening for you, Zara. Like a pushing through and an understanding that you can. It's almost like a tower moment in reverse. Like, a tower moment is if tower comes up in the tarot deck, then it ends up being like, oh, disaster. I feel like this is like a tower in reverse of, oh my God, I get it now. I don't have to keep on repeating or doing what I was doing before. I can break through this. I am the light. I am just as important as, what they're telling me is like, if you were standing in front of someone that you thought was really important, say an important actress or somebody that you just put on a pedestal, right? For you to be able to think that in your mind is coming from your own consciousness, your own perspective of life and what importance means to you, not to anyone else, to you. So when you take that back as your importance of how you should be feeling about yourself, you'll have this breakthrough moment. Okay, we've got Leanne. Leanne. We have Creator, and we are the world. That's beautiful. So stepping into creating what you really desire, it looks like you're going to expand your creations out to something more, or at least take a few steps within your mind of how can I and how can I bring this out further? How can I expand this thought in my head of who I am and how I'm creating my life and all of that, and share it with more than just me. So there's some sort of they're telling me there's an anchoring of your world into the physical, creating what you desire, which you'll then end up sharing it out to the world. Something to do with that. They really want you to do the hands-on stuff. Start to at least think about it or bring it in, grounding your reality. There's something important that you know you're supposed to be doing. Just take one step at a time towards it. Boy, my throat's getting really scratchy now. Katie had lots of downloads at 4 a.m. I did too last night. I'm actually saving them up for Thursday. Rebecca. That's a good message for Rebecca's flower sharing. Sharing is caring, right? You got the card of sharing. So maybe there's a bit of an imbalance within your reality at the moment where you're learning to receive and to give in an equal way. And so the sharing card can sometimes come out when one of those receiving or giving, it doesn't matter which one it is, they're just as important as each other, needs to be expressed. So sharing would be obviously giving some time, energy, respect to those that are around you, to value them as part of who you are in your reality, instead of seeing them as a separate entity over there that you don't have time for. I feel like there's something that you need to have time for, and share that with them this week. And then you'll start to realize that it's going to come back to you tenfold and receiving as well. And then when that happens, open your heart and your hands to the change or the shift within the person's dynamics that is wanting to return the energy back. Sheree, you got going with the flow, but it was in reverse, so there might be some sort of stuck element within going with the flow, and that could be because of a fear that you think that if you do keep going, you're going to become brighter than what you can handle or others can handle of you. So sometimes we cling to the edge of the river just in a bit of fear of how it's going to end up. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cough like you wouldn't believe. So I'm going to say goodbye today early. I can see that's going to not work. So until next time, Thursday, bye.